wait is over. The EFL is back. A new season, new hope, new pressure, and 90 minutes where anything can happen. Today on Fullscope Saturday Live, we're around the grounds with the goals, the shocks, and the opening day drama as it happens. And our main watch-along comes from Carrow Road, Norwich City versus West Bromwich Albion. Two big clubs, one huge opening statement to make. This is Fullscope Saturday Live. The season starts here, and it's over to your host, Marcus Evans.
Football is back. Welcome to Fullscope Football, where we talk all football stuff, don't we? Today, we're going to be talking Norwich and West Brom. We're going to be keeping you up to date, obviously, with scores coming from all around the grounds. We'll have a recap of the games that have already been played. But let's introduce the teams for today. We've got Norwich, West Brom. Norwich, slight favourites for this game. Around about just better than evens. 13-5 for a draw. The bookies have it. And West Brom are 11-4. So Norwich, slight favourites. In old money or new money, maybe about 45% for a Norwich win, 27% for a draw, and about 28%. That doesn't quite add up, does it? But for a West Brom win. Now, Norwich have won the last two meetings against West Brom. They beat them 5-0 away in January 2026 and 3-1 at home in the FA Cup in February. They haven't beat West Brom, though, 3 times on the bounce since 1995. So if you believe in superstition or you believe in things like that, you shouldn't, because it's stupid. But it would suggest that that West Brom will get some sort of result today. Last week, how did they do? Well, West Brom won 4-1 in the first round. They played Rotherham in the first round of the Carabao Cup, and Norwich beat MK Dons also 4-1. So they both had a good start to the season. They've scored plenty of goals, and I hope we've got plenty of goals today. Speaking of goals, we've had 2 games already in the Championship, bringing a grand total of 7 goals. We'll start with a little bit of a recap on last night's game up at the Molineux Stadium. Wolverhampton Wanderers, one of the favourites for promotion, played Blackburn Rovers, who are my team, to be fair. It ended 2 apiece, which was probably a fair result. West Brom. Wolves started the better side, and perhaps there's an argument they may have deserved the lead on 18 minutes. But Rovers at that point had really put up a good show, a lot better than other people had thought. But really, after Wolves went 1-0 up, it was only Blackburn that looked like scoring up until they did get the second early on in the second half. They were 2-1 up, and they looked quite comfortable for a long time until a controversial penalty decision, a handball, which may or may not have been outside the box. It's very unclear. Even as a Blackburn fan, I'm not going to die on this hill. It looked very unclear for me. But what it did hammer home is certainly Blackburn were one of the teams that voted against bringing VAR into the Championship. And obviously many other clubs as well voted against that. And if you're going to vote against VAR, you get the benefits for that. But also you're going to have to put up with some poor decisions. And Wolves were given the penalty and they drew 2 apiece. But it was, I don't know whether that's a disappointing start for Wolves, who'd be fancying to beat a team like Blackburn, who are relegation favourites, or whether it's a great start for Blackburn. Time will tell. We'll see how both teams do moving forward. Blackburn, of course, have got Middlesbrough at home next week. Real tough start, actually, for Blackburn. So if they get anything out of that Middlesbrough game, 2 points out of the first 2 games, will be a great start. Today, 12:30 up at Bolton. It was fierce local derby. Bolton Wanderers 2, Preston North End 1. Bolton obviously promoted from the Championship last year in the promoted to the Championship last year in the playoffs, had an absolutely fantastic start against Preston, and they took a deserved 2-1 lead. And it could have been 3. They had a third one struck off for a push in the back. Now, I'd love to see replays. Again, there's no VAR. But I've seen those fouls kind of, be allowed. I've seen people get away with things like that. So they could have been 3-0 up. And to be honest, Preston looked pretty toothless. Preston, not one of the favourites to go up, not one of the favourites to go down. They're looking at, if you look at the bookies, they're going to be a bit of a teapot team. They're going to be hanging around in the middle of the table. But they look really toothless up until sort of the last 15 minutes when Osmajic, I can never pronounce his bloody name right, but that dirty guy who always bites everybody, Osmajic. He fluffed a one-on-one with the keeper. It was honestly, it was the worst decision making I've ever seen. It smacked of a player that had no confidence whatsoever. One-on-one with the keeper, and instead of taking it on, he chose to square it to try and find a teammate and overhit the pass. And everyone thought, well, that'll be it. Preston aren't going to score now. It was the waste of the most unbelievable chance. It wasn't the last chance he got, though. They did score ahead. It was Arabi, about 86 minutes, to pull one back for Preston. And they missed a golden chance, literally in the last 30 seconds of injury time, to actually level it with a header from inside the 6-yard box, fired over the bar. So as toothless as they looked, really, they did create the chances. That the Preston fans walking away might be a little bit disappointed on that short drive home that they didn't get at least a point from that game. So as the table stands, Bolton Wanderers, last year's League One team, are actually top of the table. Blackburn Rovers and Wolves are second, and Preston are bottom. That will obviously all change within the next hour and a half or so. And we have 3 minutes till kickoff. I can see the team shaking hands now. Let me just give you a breakdown of the lineups, or just the main men. So we have with Norwich, they've got Toure up front, supported. Norwich look to be playing a 4-2-3-1 with Toure up front, Magoma on the left, Brooks on the right, and then behind Toure we've got Slimane. But I imagine that will, as the game will go on, I imagine that will look more like a 4-2-4. We'll see. West Brom look like they're playing a solid 4-4-2 with Morgan and Hegebo up front, with Galves, Phillips, Campbell and Styles at the back. Not a lot to write home about, really. With that, once the team start playing, we'll see whether they keep those formations. While waiting for kickoff, what other interesting games have we got today? Derby County versus Charlton Athletic. Derby County fired out of the Carabao Cup last week. A disappointing start for them. John Eustace's side, who will be favouring themselves for at least a playoff spot this year. You know, top 8 going through. He's had them ticking really well since he went over to Derby County as John Eustace. Portsmouth, Queen's Park Rangers. Sheffield United, Birmingham City later on at 5:30. That'll be interesting to watch. Other than that, there's no real huge games other than the one we are watching here, obviously, Norwich City versus West Brom. I think we're about a minute from kickoff. So let's go over to the pitch and see what is happening. By the way, if you are in chat, just leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts, and we will more than happily react to you, chat with you. I don't know. I'm trying to click on a window. I can't do more than one thing at once. Now, in the background, if you hear any noises, we have the co-owner of the channel and the mastermind behind all this amazing CGI stuff flying around. That is, of course, Ledge. He's probably like the most important part of the channel. I'm just the potato that's on camera. How are you doing, Ledge?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Love the potato analogy because you're rocking that potato look today.
Well, I thought if I don't say it, nobody else will. I mean, somebody else will.
I thought for a second there we were going to go at least 10 minutes without talking about Blackburn, but they played earlier. And what was the result again?
It was last night. It was two apiece. I felt we were robbed really of the win. Poor decision. But hang on, just break straight to West Brom and Norwich. So I thought the ball was going to break for West Brom inside the box in the first 12 seconds, but Norwich clear. Back to you.
So yeah, we've got all the other games that I'm going to keep an eye on. I will be jumping in and interrupting him whenever it deems the most inconvenient time for him. That's my goal, to make his job a lot harder. And I'm sure during the course of this afternoon, it's going to be a proper display for everybody. So I'll hand you back to Marcus.
Right. Yeah. So we almost had a heck of a start then. West Brom straight from kickoff down into the Norwich box. The ball looked like it was fumbling around and it could possibly break for Toure, but not Toure, sorry, for Morgan, but it didn't. Norwich managed to clear. So West Brom, what we're dealing with, they had a disappointing season for them last year. I mean, West Brom, obviously an ex top flight team, and they've been knocking on the door of the playoffs on and off for quite some time. They had a little bit of a disappointing spell, obviously, in recent times. But they've had some significant recruitment. Morgan, 4 million from Chelsea. They've had Galvis, kind of an attacking minded right back. And Felix Horn-Meyer, who I have never, ever heard of. I don't know if you know anything about him, Ledge, but I've literally never heard of him in my entire life.
It's a wonderful double-barreled name, and that's about as far as I know now.
Well, they need that recruitment as well. Last season, they had the worst away record in the championships, only 19 points away, which was awful. Not the worst, but one of the worst.
Okay, before I jump out again, I'm just going to do a bit of housework. You will see when my face disappears from the bottom, you will see we've got QR codes on there. The one that my face will reveal when I disappear is our Twitter X page, if you want to join us on there. And we've just set up a Discord. It is absolutely brand new. There may not be anybody on it, but me and Marcus at the moment. But the QR code for that is on the top left if you'd like to join us. Back to Marcus.
Outstanding. We're talking about signings, but not a great deal is happening in the game. We've just got a little bit of a stoppage for a Norwich man down. We're talking about signings with West Brom. Something that Tony Mowbray said lately should, I think if you're a West Brom fan, cause a few alarm bells. You know, things obviously didn't work out for Tony Mowbray at West Brom. He didn't stay there for too long. And he's an exceptional manager, in my opinion. He's had a lot of success. But one of the things I think that led to him not having success at West Brom is the transfer policy. He was saying that he basically didn't have control over who was coming in. It was other people higher up in the club that weren't working with the players on a day-to-day basis, that weren't, plotting out the tactics, who were deciding what the recruitment strategy was and who was going to come in. And I don't like that. If you're a coach, if you're a manager, hang on, here's a chance for Norwich to go 1-0 up. And, that is absolutely fantastic. That was Brooks on the right-hand side, dribbling into the box. He's played it across the 6-yard box. The keeper's just managed to palm it out. And Torre just couldn't quite get his foot on it to pop it home. But that was fantastic play, that from Norwich. Really, really impressed. And it was McLean, sorry, not Brooks. Just watching the replay there. Some great play. I forget what I was saying there. I'm sure it wasn't important. Right. Let's have a look around the ground. Well, that's what Ledge is there for. Ledge is going to be keeping an eye on the scores around the ground. So we'll let
you want me to come on just to tell everybody that there's no scores as of yet in all the other games, and they played 5 minutes.
So there we go. If you were expecting goals galore, you'll have to wait a little bit. In terms of West Brom and Norwich, I fancy Norwich this season to pick up one of those playoff spots. I really do. I think they've had spells certainly in recent years where they've looked promising in the Championship in the first half, and obviously it's not worked out for them. They've had poor second halves of the season, but I do fancy Norwich to pick up a playoff place. And it's exciting this year, being able to finish 8th. It keeps the season alive, I think, for a lot of teams. So I do like that rule. Anyway, Norwich played out from the back, but it goes out for a throw on the West Brom. The West Brom left, but it's actually a throw to Norwich. Halfway into the West Brom half. Let's see what they can make of this. It's been a scrappy start, a few stoppages so far. The ball's back to Fisher, and then back to Kovacevic.
I promise I didn't schedule this match just because they were really easy names.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've no idea how you pronounce Norwich keeper's name, but here's McLean again on the right-hand side, winning a corner. He's been in the breaks of play in between the fouls. And the throw-ins, McLean has looked pretty sharp for Norwich, actually, on that right-hand side of midfield. Lots of 1-2s, short little passes, cutting through the West Brom defence. He's done that a couple of times now. Waiting for the resulting corner. It's played short. And what? Well, that was almost one of the best own goals I've ever seen. It was played short. And it come to, I think it was Campbell on the edge of his own box. All he had to do was boot it clear. But as he's hit it, it must have taken some weird kind of bounce because it's looped above his head, almost past his own keeper, who's had to palm it over the bar. There was no danger there. That was really bizarre. So it's another Norwich corner. In it comes, and it looks like it's headed wide. Yeah, it looks like it's headed wide by Maatsen. So good start from Norwich, I think. So far, McLean looking to be the danger man, I would personally say. Let's have a look what the people on Twitter are saying. Let's have a look. Not a lot at the minute. So there we go. Big games tomorrow in the Championship. Obviously, West Ham versus Burnley, which to see two of the relegated Premier League teams facing off in the first game of the season is pretty tasty. I think West Ham have probably had the better of the transfer window compared to Burnley. We'll see. I don't think all deals are done just yet, obviously, but I think Burnley fans will be a little bit worried about how long it's taken them to get active. They'll be hoping for a lot more action before that window shuts. So I'm favouring West Ham tomorrow. Nothing against Burnley, but maybe 15-16-0. I don't know. It's out for a throw-in on the Norwich right to be taken by Fisher, about level with the penalty box. It's going to be played short. A lot of Championship clubs are in with this long throw business these days, which I like, actually. But that was taken short, and it's come to nothing. And it is back with Cordoba in his own half for Norwich. Across to Darling. I bet he got some stick growing up with that name for Norwich. Norwich just happily keeping the ball around the back. I think this game's already settled into a pattern of heavy Norwich possession. And it breaks for McOmer on the left-hand side, who plays the ball across the box. It's going to be picked up. Or is it? No, should have let that go out for a throw, but it's been picked up by West Brom, who are looking to break, but they just swamped it straight back with Norwich, across to Toure, who runs into a sea of West Brom defenders, and it's cleared. But again, not far, and a bit of respite for West Brom. It looks like, I think, is that Phillips who's down, and it'll be a free kick to West Brom. Any action in any of the other games, Ledge?
I wish I could say there was, but all the other games are still flattering to deceive at 0-0 with 10 minutes on the clock.
So I suppose now is the chance where we could make a prediction for who we think is going to go up this season automatically. I know who my favourites are. Do you want to go first, or shall
I? Okay. Well, you would be fools to think West Ham wouldn't have a chance to get back up there. They had an interesting cup game, and they've got a good team. I just think they were unfortunate. It was a tight race between them and Spurs last season, wasn't it? And it's quite honestly, it could have come down to a coin toss between the two of them. So I think West Ham's going to be up there as probably first or second automatic. Is it first, second automatic, or just first now?
First, second, and then down to 8th will be playoffs.
And I think I don't know. I think for some reason I probably fancy Birmingham to be somewhere up there, and I'm sure the West Brom fans would love me to say that, but there you go. And I don't know. Norwich probably the team we're watching now.
I like it. I like it. I'd also go West Ham for automatic promotion. Absolutely. West Ham followed by Wolves. I think Wolves will just. I think they've got the finances to compete well in this division. Burnley, I think, will find themselves in the playoffs, but I think there's it's a strong division, the Championship. I think the playoffs is going to be a little bit of a lottery, but automatically I'm going to go West Ham and Wolves.
Okay, I forgot about Wolves, to be fair. There you
go. I say that they looked like they were a little bit toothless, to be honest, against Blackburn last night. Whether that's just the not finding the feet yet, perhaps. Maybe it was a good time to play them first game of the season.
All right, well, we've just got a little message from Peanuts4723. He just says hello. So, hello, Peanuts. We hope you enjoy the stream and that there is much of a reflection from the top of Marcus's head.
Peanuts, how you doing? Let us know your support. Let us know what your thoughts are. Who do you think's up for promotion from the Championship this season? I was just saying West Ham, Wolves, I think will take the automatic spots.
We have a goal at Stoke. 1-0 to Stoke versus Swansea.
And who scored that?
I'll just have to check. Sorry. Bocaps in the 10th minute.
Right. So as it stands so far, Bolton Wanderers still topping the table with 3 points. Lincoln City. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Lincoln City score. I've just come up. Adam Reach has scored in that one to make it 1-0 at Middlesbrough ground.
Lincoln City second, Stoke City third. I think there's alphabetical decided by alphabetical order. Those positions. Norwich just fire a shot just over the bar. And then Blackburn, Wolves, Bristol City, Charlton, and Derby. Obviously, all these are absolutely meaningless, and a lot of them have been decided on alphabetical.
You might not like this. You might not like this. Peanuts. He says he is an Oldham fan.
Okay. Dark horse for the playoffs is Blackburn. Peanuts, I knew I like you. Yeah, I'm a Blackburn fan myself. Kevin Phillips has tipped Blackburn for the playoffs. We are one of the favourites to go down. I think we are the most betted on team to go down. But Kevin Phillips has tipped us as a dark horse. See, the thing with Blackburn, we haven't been too active in the transfer window, but I think we've got we've got two good signings with February and Sam Morsey. But people forget we've also just got Good Johnson back from injury. He didn't play for us at all last season. He's like having a new signing. He scored last week. He scored yesterday. So I think we've improved a third of the team quite significantly. And if we can do a little bit more business, Tony Mowbray can weave his magic and gets, maybe 2 or 3 decent players on loan. We could be looking not too shabby for the Championship, I think. Right. It's Norwich. It's gone out for a throw-in, actually. To West Brom to be taken by Styles deep in his own half on the left-hand side. The game seems to have settled down into something a little scrappy in the last few minutes. Not a great deal is happening.
We've got a goal at Portsmouth. Devlin in the 15th minute. That's Portsmouth 1, QPR 0.
Now, Portsmouth, they give West Ham a good game last week in the Carabao Cup, didn't they? I know they crashed out, but they were leading for quite some time at one point.
Who's the goalkeeper from like everybody should be signing? The saved 24 penalties, did he save?
Oh, the Millwall keeper, saved 4. I can't remember his name, but yeah, saved 4 penalties on the bounce. Speaking of keepers, Peanuts has said about Blackburn, solid midfield, promising defenders, keep Toth. And thing is, I think Toth will be on his way. I think I've heard rumours that he's wanted north of the border. Was it even Celtic that were after him? He's a good keeper. He's a good keeper. I rate him highly. And yeah, I really like Mowbray as well. I think he's got a good philosophy. He was talking about his philosophy of football being about artists and soldiers, and he made absolutely no bones about the fact that you need hard nuts in the team that are going to really get the opposition on edge. And then those hard nuts, basically, when they do win the ball back, they just feed it to the talented players to express themselves. And that looks like his philosophy seems to be shining through in the players that he's brought in already. You know, Sam Morsey would definitely fit that soldier hard nut category. Fervier, a bit of an artist kind of category. Definitely worked last night. Right, so let's have a look at the table. See where we're at the minute. I mean, imagine Bolton and Lincoln, the two teams who come up from League One last. And I know this is ridiculously early, but to currently be occupying the top 2 places in the Championship.
Is it just me, or does it sound funny when you say Bolton?
Bolton.
Yeah, you said Bolton as if like there's a U in it somewhere.
It's just how everyone what speaks around here does say it too.
I have just basically totally destroyed all your vernacular there, haven't I?
Peter says he's got Portsmouth and Bolton to go down. Yeah, I mean Bolton did great today against Preston. Local derby, those things can go anyway. And obviously, first game of the season, they were really up for it. But as time goes on, have they got the strength in depth to do that week in, week out? I don't think they do. They'll do well to stay up, Bolton, but great result from today. And Preston fans will be gutted to lose that game. Gutted. Anyway, here come Norwich. It's over on the right-hand side. It's a little bit scrappy. I can't quite see what's going on. Anyway, shot taken by McLean again and scooped up by the keeper. He's having a hell of a game, McLean. Real hell of a game.
Just to say, like this week, obviously it's EFL opening day, so we will be covering and keeping an eye on all the EFL games that are playing. We'll also be covering all the Premier League games as well when the Premier League starts, and we'll try and keep everyone who wants to watch us as informed as we are, which is obviously very, isn't it?
Oh, we're the most informed ever. West Brom with a rare sortie into the Norwich half. Over with Price on the left-hand side. It's not going anywhere. West Brom aren't looking. They're not looking like a going forward team, you know, when they've got the ball. There's a lot of sideways pass. They're giving Norwich far too much time to organise themselves again. And I know it just looks like they're waiting. They're just waiting. But I don't know what they're waiting for before they pull the trigger on a forward pass. Having said that, there is one forward pass there, and I think that's gone out for a corner. Was it? No, unbelievably, it ricocheted back off the defender onto Whitwell, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Let's see what the people on Twitter are saying now about the start for the teams. West Brom, let's see what they're saying. Not a great deal. Not a great deal.
So just to reiterate then, the scores as of 20 minutes gone, 21 minutes gone. The only scores are in the Middlesbrough Lincoln games, where it's 1-0 to Lincoln, and Portsmouth 1-0 up at home to QPR, as are Stoke against Swansea.
Now, and they don't call it the Charity Shield anymore, do they? Community Shield. It's not been the Charity Shield for a long time, has it?
It's always been the Charity Shield for me. So if it's changed its name, I'm probably have my head in the sand with that one. Why do they want to change things all the time?
I have no idea why it went from the charity. I mean, I still call it the Charity Shield. I know it's not. I mean, I still call X Twitter. You know, in fact, to be honest, I still call the Snickers a marathon. So that was nearly 30 years ago, if not longer.
Are we going to reminisce about the sweets now? Because don't get me started on. I can remember Opal Fruits instead of Starburst, for God's sake.
Yeah. I remember Opal Fruit. What was wrong with that? It's all to bring it in line, isn't it? With
who?
No idea. Well, exactly.
With nobody that wants it basically here, anyways, that I know of.
Well, not a great deal is happening in this game. If I just bring the stats up, Norwich 51% possession, West Brom 48. That makes it look like West Brom have been in it, but really they've had no shots on target, no shots at all, and their expected goals is 0. 3 shots for Norwich, 2 of them on target with an expected goals of 0.21. When it comes to aerial duels, 1 though, West Brom have won 6, Norwich have won 2, and Norwich have had 2 corners, West Brom 0.
Okay, Spidey Parker 4481 in chats. Hi, I've lost my voice now. Hi and welcome to the channel. Let's do the ident. He says, she says, Bromwich looking terrible so far. Honestly, it's sad face. I take it, Spidey, that you are a Bromwich fan.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I mean, we cover all kind of games here, right? I'm not a West Brom or Norwich fan. I'm a Blackburn fan, so I'm trying to cover this as neutrally as I can. But yeah, I think at the minute West Brom are struggling. There doesn't seem to be any forward, any urgency to go forward, does there? But it's early days. So, as a West Brom fan, my little bit of research tells us you've been quite active in the transfer window. How do you feel about your signings? It finds football boring. Well, thanks for being here anyway. Right. Norwich are breaking with Fisher. That's a nice run from the back. But it's crowded out. The ball's back with West Brom. We do have a forward pass. And here come West Brom. Out to Morgan on the left-hand side, whose shot from the edge of the box goes wide. That's the first time, I think, in this game West Brom have looked like a threat, to be honest. The first time. And actually a better finish. He was in a decent position. A better finish, though. He scuffed it. He's dragged it wide. A better finish. And that could be, that was a decent chance. That could be 1-0 West Brom. And it looks like Norwich struggling to get out their own half a little bit. Maybe let's encourage West Brom.
Oh, we have a goal at Charlton. It's a goal for Derby by Smodic.
Sammy Smodic. What a player he is in the Championship.
So it's Derby 1, Charlton 0.
Yeah, he's a good player. It's a shame it didn't work out from him in the Premier League. When he moved to Ipswich, just after Ipswich won promotion, and Ipswich played Man City in the first game of the season, and within the first 20 minutes, Smodic scored. On his debut against Man City after a brilliant season in the Championship the season before. It would have been nice for him to go on and make a success of it in the Premiership, but it wasn't to be, really. Similar with Adam Armstrong, fantastic striker he was in the Championship. Just couldn't seem to cut it, I don't think, at Premier League level.
Viewer 99T says thanks for the stream. You're very, very welcome. We'll be here every Saturday giving you some of the same. Obviously, perfect professional commentary is what you need to expect from our channel, he says humbly.
Well, ball's out for a throw with Norwich to be taken by Fisher deep in their own half. Very deep in their own half, actually, not too far from the corner flag on the right-hand side. Let's have a look at the match stats, see if they've changed. Norwich 54% possession, West Brom 56. West Brom now have registered a shot on goal. Otherwise, the stats are still pretty much in Norwich's favour, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah. So, here we come. Price on the left-hand side for West Brom, who is absolutely wrestled to the ground there. I don't know how on earth that's not going to be a booking unless it went out for a throw-in first. It was two hands on the shirt and yanked to the ground.
Okay, equaliser for Swansea City at Stoke, scored by Opoku.
Well, meanwhile, over at Norwich, we do have a free kick for West Brom wide near the touchline on the left. I'd say about 30 yards out. It looks like they've loaded the box up. A good delivery here. We're going to get a good delivery. That's not a bad delivery. That's not a bad delivery. And who's that come off? Difficult to see who's that's come off, but it's bounced over the... it's Campbell. I don't know whether it was his head or his shin, but it just seemed to bounce off somebody in the box when it came in, and it's gone over the bar. Yeah. So there we go. Is that going to register as another shot? Maybe. And the ball's having a good little spell here after looking rubbish for the first 20 minutes. But ultimately comes to nothing, and it's back with O'Leary. We'll play it out. Galvez on the left. New signing, Galvez. Wonder how he'll settle in. Out on the right-hand side to Whitwell, who can't keep it in. It goes out for a throw-in to Norwich. So, prediction for tomorrow, Ledge. We have Burnley versus West Ham, the two relegated sides. What do you think about that?
Well, if I was going to be controversial and obviously in an attempt to wind you up, I would be plumped in for Burnley, wouldn't I? But as I've got West Ham to go back up, I would be contradicting myself. So I'm going to go West Ham, probably maybe a 3-1 win, I think. I don't think it's going to be hard for them tomorrow.
I mean, what a player Jared Bowen's going to be in the Championship this season. He's
got that pace on him. He can just run through. He's got good assists and he can score.
And it wasn't that long ago. He was in the England setup. He's a top player. I think even for a Premier League club. The ball is through. Is that Toure in the box? But he was just pushed left, just pushed wide of goal. And West Brom then had time to regroup. And it ultimately come to nothing. But for a second there, guys, in fact, he's run it out.
I think Burnley have just signed one of Chelsea's many goalkeepers. I'm not sure. It's a foreign name beginning with S. I would have a look at that, I think.
Yeah, I'll get on that off time. meanwhile, we've got a yellow card for Phillips for West Brom. He's taken one for the team there, let's say. That is as obvious a deliberate foul as you're going to get. But free kick on basically right on the centre line for Norwich, who take it short, and no urgency at all here. How's possession looking? I'll tell you what, Alex, let's have a look at that. So possession, Norwich have certainly had more possession, but not huge amount more, 54.5%. In fact, Norwich have just stuck the ball in the back of the net, but it was way offside. I think even as he took the shot, he knew he was offside. West Brom, 45.5%. Other than that, up until about 20 minutes, West Brom hadn't had a shot on goal. They hadn't had... They hadn't even had a corner. In fact, they've still not had a corner. So anything of any note really has come from Norwich, but it's been a bit rubbish. Not very entertaining, I'll be honest, so far. Right. Yeah, but the long and short of it, Norwich started off the better side. West Brom is slowly creeping back into it now, and it's a bit 50-50. Oh, excuse me. Any update in any of the other games, Ledge?
Not from last time. We're still 0-0 at Bristol City Millwall, 1-0 Derby Charlton, 1-0 Lincoln Middlesbrough. Obviously 0-0 in the game you're watching. 1-0 Portsmouth QPR, and 1 apiece at Stoke versus Swansea.
What a result that would be for Lincoln, the newly promoted side, if they can hold on at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have got to be one of the favourites for promotion. Last season, I think they created more chances than any other team, had more shots than any other team. They other than a little bit of a meltdown towards the end of the season, they'd have gone up automatically. And for Lincoln to come up from League One to be leading the 1-0, I'd love to see the stats in that game. In fact, I'm going to have a quick look at those stats in a second. While I'm looking at that, though, Charlie Welsh, the man himself, love to get him on here at some point. Very knowledgeable about football. I keep saying that. Big football fan. Played at a good level. He's in the chat. How are you doing, Charlie? Let me see if I can...
Yeah, he kind of snuck up on us there, didn't he?
So, yeah, let's go over to that Middlesbrough game. So, Middlesbrough 0, Lincoln City 1. And if we have a look at the stats, okay, looks like a bit of a smash and grab. Middlesbrough, 70% possession, 5 shots. But actually, interestingly, with the 30% possession, Lincoln have had 6 shots, and they both had 1 on target. So, let's have a look a little bit more in depth. 3 of Middlesbrough's attempts have come from outside of the box. We're only 1 for Lincoln has. So they've had 5 attempts on goal from inside the box.
Well, I'm just going to jump in and to tell you that QPR have just equalised against Portsmouth. It's that man with that lovely surname, Ilias Chair.
Okay, right. Take a seat. Well done. See what I did there. Charlie says he'd love to. Right, I'm going to sort that out, mate. We will get that sorted. But as I'm speaking, there's a scramble resulting from a Norwich corner, and somehow it's cleared by West Brom. I thought that was, well, not cleared far enough. It's back. Okay. No, it's not gone in. The scramble was cleared. It was picked up again, whizzed back into the West Brom box. It was a great cross to the far post. And I think it's Magoma who gets his head on the end of it. Across, looking for Torre. He's headed it across the box. And Torre is about 1 yard from goal with almost a free header. He's about to plant his head on it and score. and he gets barged into, in my opinion, from behind by a West Brom defender, and the ball goes out for a corner. And the corner reaches, I think that's Magoma, who heads it wide. I'll be interested in seeing if there's a shout for a penalty there on the previous attempt with Torre. Right, yeah, so Charlie, if you're still there, we will sort that out, definitely. Right, let's have a look at the table. Bolton Wanderers topping the table, 3 points. Derby County second. Lincoln City still winning at Middlesbrough. Incredible. And Blackburn Rovers are in fourth. Obviously, it all means nothing at this stage of the season. And a lot of this is decided alphabetically. But still, Southampton. Oh, Southampton are bottom on -4. I forgot they had a points deduction from last season.
Well, yeah, that's the that's the spying thing, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Spygate.
Oh, we've had a red card at Bristol City, and it's a Bristol City player, Adam Randell, as an early bath.
In chat, Middlesbrough missed their chance last year. They did. You know, I went to watch Blackburn versus Middlesbrough at Ewood, and Middlesbrough were absolutely outstanding. They absolutely, in all areas apart from scoring, they battered Blackburn off the pitch. You know, they ragged us around like a doll, but they couldn't score. We got away. We scraped a 0-0. In fact, when the final whistle went, all the Blackburn fans celebrated a 0-0 like we'd won 10-0. It was the most stressful game I've ever watched. Middlesbrough were awesome. But after that game, I think they went on a run for maybe five or six games where they couldn't buy a win, and blew their automatic promotion.
Yeah, we've got a. You can't say he or she nowadays, can you? We've got a lovely viewer by the name of Sam Dollar who agrees that Middlesbrough did miss their chance last year.
Absolutely. Nothing is happening here in this game down at Norwich. I've never been to Carrow Road. Never been. Is that ground you've been to, Ledge?
I have actually quite a few times following my team.
What's it like?
How do you want me to answer that?
Well, do they do good
How are the
pies,
pies?
good hot dogs?
I guess how the pies like? What's the beer like? What's the price? I'm just going to say reasonable. I'm sure since I last visited, the amenities and the atmosphere has probably got better. I've always thought Norwich were one of these teams that were. It's one of them that are they're too good for EFL and not quite good enough for Premier League. Do you agree?
I think there'll always be one of those that periodically bounce up and down between the two, for sure. Tell you what, I've never been to Carrow Road, but I've been to Norwich, and it's a fantastic town, or is it a city?
It's a city, mate.
It's a lovely looking city. Lots of like really historical. It reminded me of York. If anyone's ever been to York, you know that kind of historical, old walls and castles and stuff, old castle walls and stuff, just all around the city. Really nice place.
There's a very, very famous cathedral in Norwich.
Is it Norwich Cathedral?
It could be, but I mean, it used to be on the old was it Norwich Union insurance logo?
Oh, chance here for Norwich. That's well defended. Couldn't pull the trigger on it, but here I was a bit late on all of that. Anyway, the ball is back with Norwich. Is that Torre? Is that a penalty? The hell? No, it's not. It's not, but Torre's down, holding his leg in the box, while the ball is back with the Norwich keeper. I don't know what happened. There was just a sea of people in the box. Difficult. I'll need to wait for a replay on that. But here comes Fisher, who's been pretty active for Norwich, actually, as a full. But he's just been dragged right down to the ground again.
Do you think the refereeing is different then in EFL to what it is in the Premier League when it comes to fouls, tackles, etc.?
To be honest, I haven't really noticed it. I think the style of play is a little bit more physical in the Championship, so that might make you think that the refereeing is slightly different, but that's only because they've got a lot more calls to make with more physical challenges, in my opinion.
We've got another goal at that Portsmouth QPR game, and it's QPR this time have taken the lead through Koki Saito. It was a right-footed shot from the centre of the box just after a fast break forward.
Be interesting to see how Portsmouth do. What's the situation at Lincoln? Is it still 1-0? Middlesbrough, sorry, still 1-0 to Lincoln.
Yeah, it is still 1-0 to Lincoln. Not really much going on.
Oh, vicious shot outside the box from Norwich. One of those whacked a West Brom defender in the breadbasket and sent him to the floor. But here now comes Magoma on the left-hand side for Norwich. Thought he was going to whip across in, but that's some good defending from, I think that was Galvez. And it's going to be a throw for Norwich level with the West Brom penalty area taken quickly. And, actually, West Brom do well to win that back. And it's hoofed downfield. Have that, son. Picked up by Norwich. It's with Cordoba. Just around the halfway line. Play forward to Matson. And that break is ended. And West Brom, it's livening up a little bit now. West Brom have a little chance of their own. That's a lovely little through ball. Here they come on the left-hand side with Price. And it's been given offside. That was dangerous.
Spidey Parker, I believe he's being sincere when he says, well, this is an entertaining game.
It's not been the best, I'll be honest, Spidey. It's not been the best. Have you seen the new Spider-Man film? That's what I want to know. No, I won't give any spoilers. I went to watch it last week.
I didn't even know they'd released it yet. I'm still waiting for that. Was it Doomsday that's coming out?
Yeah, that's, I think, when is that coming out? Is that December?
I don't know if it's December or November. It's just back at the end of the year anyway.
Yeah. No, I went to watch the new Spider-Man last week. I enjoyed it, is all I'll say. I mean, it's not flawless, and it certainly leaves some questions at the end, but
they've drawn the Hulk correctly, haven't they? Because now he's about 20 foot tall.
They've changed him a little bit. They have changed him a little bit. Here come West Brom, but not for long. Every time I start to talk about an attack, it fizzles out as soon as I think something might happen, it fizzles out immediately. But let's have a look at the stats. See if West Brom have been playing themselves back into it stats-wise. No, still only 45% possession. But interestingly, 8 aerial duels won for West Brom, only 3 for Norwich. They do seem to be the more physical of the two sides. And as I say that, they prove that with... Let's have a look at this foul. Oh, yeah, by giving away a free kick. Who's that? Is that Magoma? Is he injured? He's holding his hip. Oh, is that Cordoba? Yeah, Cordoba holding his ribs or his hip. He looks like he's in significant pain there. Anyway, the game's restarted. That'll be one to watch. Will he be able to? We're at the 45 minutes, so will he shake that off? He's back on the ball now. Played off to Magoma on the left. Beats the defender. Lovely feet there. And he wins the throw-in. 1 minute.
Right. So I'm just going to quickly go through the scores from the other 2 EFL leagues. Plenty of games to go through. Barnsley, Bromley, 0-0. Blackpool are losing 1-0 to Wickham. Bradford, Peterborough are all square at 0-0. So are Burton and Stevenage. Cambridge are leading 2-0 against Wigan. Huddersfield with one man off the field are 2-0 up at home to Wimbledon. Leyton Orient are drawing 1-1 with Sheff Wednesday at home. Mansfield are beating Doncaster 1-0 at home. Plymouth are losing 2-0 at home to Stockport. And we're going to League Two, where it's 1 apiece, Accrington, Colchester, 2-0 Barnet, Salford, 1-0 Cheltenham, Rotherham. Chesterfield are losing 1-0 at home to Fleetwood. Crawley, Crewe, Gillingham and Walsall, there is no score. Grimsby 1-0 up at home to Exeter. And Northampton Swindon is 0-0. Tranmere 1, Shrewsbury 0. York City are losing to Bristol Rovers at home.
Right, and as you were saying that, it is it's not 1-0, it's half time over at Norwich. So we are on our break. I think that we are done for 15 minutes. Bye-bye. Back. So it's Norwich 0, West Brom 0. We'll go through the other scores in a minute. Pattern of the first half, Norwich City started off really much the stronger side. West Brom really struggled to find the pace at first, struggled to find any kind of forward passes. But we get to about the 22nd, 23rd minute and West Brom slowly start to play the way back in the game, but no goals as yet. Danger men for Norwich seem to be McLean in midfield and Fisher on the right back. So they seem to be combining really, really well. Lots of nice little 1-2s on that right-hand side, getting the ball into the box for Torre. So, yeah, that seems to be where much of Norwich's danger is coming from. For West Brom, we've got Price on the left-hand side. I'd say pretty much nobody else at the minute standing out for West Brom. But there we go. In terms of match stats, 55% possession for Norwich, 44 for West Brom. I know that doesn't add up. I've missed the decimals off there. Almost 45 for West Brom. And 6 shots for Norwich, 1 for West Brom, but no shots on target for West Brom, whereas 3 of Norwich's 6 were on target. So therefore, Norwich goalkeeper hasn't had a single save to make yet. And West Brom haven't had a single corner either, compared to Norwich having 4. What is interesting, where West Brom do seem to be excelling, is aerial duels. 8-1 for Norwich, 8-1 for West Brom, only 3 for Norwich. And other than that, it's been a pretty dull game. I'm going to be honest. It's been pretty dull. So hopefully we'll get something in the second half. But there is an interesting result unfolding up at Middlesbrough, I think, Ledge. What's the score up there still?
Yeah, the score is it's still 1-0 Lincoln at half time. That goal basically early on in the 12th minute by Reach maintains their dominance in that game, and quite a shock, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, Lincoln obviously favourites to go down. Middlesbrough one of the favourites to go up. I wouldn't expect Lincoln going to Middlesbrough on that first game of the season to be looking like they might get something out of that game. Or maybe the first game of the season is the time. You know, it's the right time to go to these big clubs before they get up and running. Who knows? So that is definitely one to keep an eye on. Shock, well, not a shock result, but Bolton beating Preston 2-1 means that another League One side from last season has picked up 3 points today. They currently sit top of the table. Excuse me. Actually, they share top of the table with Queen's Park Rangers and Derby County. So, yes, interesting. Now, it looks like it's absolutely hurling it down at Norwich, but it's no, it's the sprinklers. So,
just a score update from before we went to half-time break. That man Chase scored for QPR, making it 3-1. QPR Portsmouth at Portsmouth. So we've had a pair of chairs today.
Good. Okay, we spoke before in the first half about who your favourites for promotion were. Who are your favourites for relegation?
Well, having known you for a long time, I would be a fool, at least not to put something each way on Blackburn.
It's a fair point. I mean, Blackburn are one of the most betted on teams to go down.
And then, I mean, it's always difficult, you know, the Championship, because the teams that are in the Championship, there aren't that many teams that are head and shoulders above the others, if you know what I mean. I mean, look at Lincoln today so far. They are going against what we would consider would be the norm for them. But I don't know. See, who else have we got here? Probably Charlton, maybe might be down there. I would say I wanted to say Stoke, but then you know Stoke are again one of them teams that, like, I think they sort of hover halfway up the table and sort of, you know, bounce up and down that part of the table. So I wouldn't really dare to say. I would have probably said Lincoln actually as well. So but we'll see. There's plenty of games to go in there.
There is. I mean, I would have said Lincoln, Bolton for sure would be two. I mean, as much as I'm a Blackburn fan, before the season started, they've got to be in that conversation. I don't believe they will. Maybe that's just my rose-tinted specs, but they really got to be in that conversation. Charlton as well. They almost got themselves dragged into it. So I think that's last season. I think that's a good shout. We'll see. Anyway, we're about to kick off again down at Carrow Road with Norwich. In fact, we have kicked off. Norwich kicking left to right. And it is with Norwich passing it around the back line. Quite comfortable, actually. Cordoba and Darling just having a game of 1-2 with each other. That's about the fifth time they've passed it back and forth. Finally, West Brom put a bit of pressure on, and it's passed up to the left to Magoma, who cuts in midfield. And that's a lovely ball across to Brooks. And who's that? I know, lovely little ball in to the box, and that's been headed out. And I think that's gone for a corner. I think that's gone for a corner to Norwich. Yeah, it's gone for a corner to Norwich. Bright start to the second half from Norwich. We're a minute in. Right. Now, shall I go?
Would you say if this game finishes scoreless, would you say that that's a performance from West Brom and a missed opportunity from Norwich?
I wouldn't go that far yet, although Norwich, I think, have definitely been the slightly better side. I'd say only slightly. And they haven't created anything that I would call as a clear-cut chance. In fact, just off that corner there, that's probably the best chance I think they've created from the game. A header just gone wide of the post. I think that was Maatsen who's just headed it wide. But no, I don't think so, because although they've been better, I don't think they've created... I don't think they've looked good enough to say they deserve to have scored, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but on the balance of play, what I've been hearing from your commentaries, Norwich has kind of had most of the play.
They definitely have had most of the play. They've had most of the possession, but a lot of the attacks that have come in from Norwich, when I've got a little bit excited, have been scrambles in the West Brom box. Almost at best. There's been. I'm struggling to think of a save. Just a clean cut shot and save that that Norwich have had to pull from the West Brom keeper. So, yeah, I think at the minute, I don't think either team deserves to be in front, but Norwich have been the better side.
So do you think Norwich have got a sort of like a really good midfield and no sort of like end product, shall we say?
It's been a little bit blunt up front, but of the two sides, they are the ones that are creating there's been creations of half chances is the best way of putting it. West Brom have barely created anything, whereas Norwich have created, a number of half chances that have been kind of comfortably stuffed. So I think that the quality, if they just had even created one high quality chance, then I might say they deserve to be in front, but I've not seen that yet. Anyway, here they come. That's with Toure on the edge of the box. He's going to play it out right to Brooks. Brooks plays it across the front of the 6-yard box, but it's picked out by O'Leary, who then throws it to Price on the left-hand side. He's going to bring it forward for West Brom, although he is dropped. The referee saying play on. Chance here for West Brom. They switch wings. It's with Diak. I can't pronounce his bloody name. Who's on a lovely little dribble. He's gone down. Is that going to be a penalty? The West Brom players won it. Norwich play on. There seems to be nothing. Diakaiti or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it. Lovely little run. And while the West Brom players are appealing for a penalty, it is now down with Toure on the edge of the... But he's now in the box. He's going to shoot from his left-hand side. No, he's not. He takes too long and has been pushed wide. Has the danger gone? He's still in the box with the ball. And now the danger has gone. Nice little spell of play. It's over on the left-hand side. But the crossing is comfortably dealt with from West Brom, but only up to Maatsen. Well, there we go. It's gone out for a throw-in. Sorry, a little bit of excitement there for you.
I'm sure if Spider's still out there, I'm sure he's on the edge of his seat.
That was some good play. That was some good play. I was impressed with that. Right, it looks as though it's a corner to Norwich. I don't know where that come from. I was watching a replay. It's whipped in, headed clear by West Brom, but only as far as Toure, who's going to play it over to Magoma on the left. Back to Toure. It's looped in. And, the keeper fumbles it. It's fallen. Yeah, Magoma tried to. The West Brom keeper has come and jumped over his own defender, fell on the ground with the punch. And then while he's on the ground, Magoma for Norwich has tried to loop it over him into the back of the net, but it was just, it went high and wide. It was the right idea, but it was poor execution. And it was for a goal kick, which has been taken, and the ball is now with Norwich deep in their own half. All dangers past. Hopefully we'll see a goal. We'll see something. Right. Ledge, how are things? I'm going to keep asking this because I'm interested in this result. How are things at Middlesbrough?
Still, the status quo is 1-0. But I have another interesting scoreline to bring you. We've got another. We actually, I don't think I missed. Did I miss this goal? Millwall are now 2-0 up at Bristol City, and it's that man, Josh Coburn. So Millwall doing pretty good so far. They cut last week and in the league.
Okay, excellent. My phone has just taken a fart, but I'll be back with the game in about 20 seconds. Did this? I don't know what it's doing.
We spare no expense. We spare no expense for the technology. While your phone is waiting to be reborn, Foots edits FC. Come on, Norwich, he says.
Right. Well, I'm back with that. So, are you a Norwich fan? I'll say you've been the better side if you are. I can't think of a clear-cut chance that you've created, to be honest. A bunch of half chances, but you've been the only one creating half chances, really. West Brom have looked pretty toothless. But West Brom do have the ball now. It looks like, is that Whitwell on the right-hand side? But it's going nowhere. Going nowhere. Right. Foot edit ZZFC. Which rolls off the tongue, that, doesn't it? What do you think of your chances for promotion? Oh, and Spidey is still here. And he's right. Norwich do look like they want to win. I think that's the best way of describing it. They look like they are they're going for it. West Brom far more cautious, or just unable to hurt Norwich, it would seem, at the minute. It's a lovely ball forward. I think that's Brooks played into. So it's very difficult on my phone to see, but I think that was Slimane who just fires it high and wide. No, it was McLean. McLean's looked really dangerous for Norwich this game. Really dangerous.
Oh, some brave, confident words from Foots edits.
Hey, I tell you what, I'd like to see Norwich do well this season. I'm not a Norwich fan or West Brom fan or whatever, but I'd like to see Norwich do well. So good luck with that.
He's going to be holding his signed Norwich shirts all the way through.
Yeah, but signed by who? Is it signed by your postman? That's
And Viewer 1990 is asking, what subs do you imagine happening?
You know what? Being a Blackburn fan, I don't have the insight into these two teams well enough to predict that. But what I'd say with with West Brom, if they have anybody on that bench who's capable at running at somebody, capable at creating chances on their own, get them on, because West Brom are just passing themselves into oblivion. Hardly any forward passes. They're lacking any kind of excitement going forward, in my opinion. So I don't know who fits that bill on the bench for West Brom. As we speak, lovely little effort. Excuse me. Slimane just hits the side netting for Norwich, or it looks like it must have taken deflection, because I think it's another corner. And it is a corner whipped in. Bounced out to the edge of the box. And in that kind of Paul Scholes role, where you wait for a corner on the outside of the box, and when the ball broke, you just take a shot from distance. Well, that's where Fisher was, and he's blasted it high and wide. He's had a good game, Fisher. He's looked pretty. He's looked an attacking fullback to me. I quite like him. I'd have him at Blackburn. Here come West Brom. No, dispossessed. No, nothing's coming from that.
I would say my input for Norwich. I would say if Norwich can't make a breakthrough, unless he decides to put Papa Diallo on, my guess is he'll probably maybe go for something new up front, maybe Kvisgarden or Schwartau, maybe.
Oh, okay, I like it. Foot Edit says, if Norwich win, I'll donate £10. Well, you can't because we're not monetized, but thanks anyway.
Not yet, but with your help, we could enable this guy to donate £10. But thanks anyway, my friend.
Norwich would have to win 5-0 first. West Brom keep losing the ball. Yeah, they just pass themselves into oblivion. They need somebody who will get the ball at the feet and run at somebody, like a Bradley Dack type figure, that lower league level who's capable of taking players on. I don't know if they've got somebody like that on the bench. It needs to happen. It's the thought that counts. You are right. Anyway, here do come West Brom. It's with Price over on the left-hand side. It's not going anywhere though. Back to the halfway line. And then we're switching. It looks like we're switching over to the right-hand side with Galvez. Forward to Whitwell. Back to Galvez. Back to Whitwell. And then Diakite. I'm going to pronounce that name wrong all afternoon. In fact, I'm going to pronounce it deliberately wrong just to hide the fact I don't know how you pronounce it. Dubidaki. I'm going to call him Dubidaki from now on. Oh, dear. Oh, West Brom. Oh, no. That was just scrappy. I can't even describe what happened then. It was just a load of scrappy mess. But here come West Brom. Again, it looks like it's Whitwell. And they've played a forward pass, a through ball. Actually, that almost paid off. The keeper was out well to pick it up, but it looked like Hegebo could have got on the back of that. And that surely would have been 1-0, actually, if the keeper wasn't so quick.
Viewer 99T has commented both sides win 4-1 in the cup last week. Many goals were then predicted, so it's now bound to finish 0-0. Yeah, that's usually the way, isn't it?
Yeah, I said that at the beginning of the game that they both won 4-1 last week, so we're going to see loads of goals and nothing clean cut. But here come West Brom again, chance to break, but then that was an ideal chance to break and play a forward pass, but it was a Docky Wacky there, Diakate, who's just decided that
I'm going to step in. I can't stand back any longer. I'm sure it's Diakite, and the other guy you keep getting wrong is Ben Slimani, not Slimane.
Okay, Slimani. Here actually come Norwich. Well defended. That was Magoma in the box.
Thanks for that, Puts Edits. He's just pressed the subscribe button. Much obliged.
Well, thank you very much for Edits. We are actually we're not a West Brom or a Norwich channel. We just cover all kind of games and stories and stuff. This was the game of the day. The game of the day to pick.
Yeah,
we thought.
what a game! I would have thought Norwich would have banged at least 4 in by now.
I'll be honest. I was saying to Ledge at halftime, I wish we'd have picked the Middlesbrough Lincoln game. But hey, in hindsight, you never make a wrong decision, do you?
No.
With the power of hindsight, we might get a dramatic late winner. That's a lovely ball chip into the box, looking for Torre. But again, he's been forced out wide. That seems to be happening a lot to him today. And looks like the danger's gone. Good recycling of the ball from Norwich. West Brom content, I think, with what they've got, just to sit back in this low block. Out it is again to Magoma on the left. And, it breaks inside the box. I thought that had to be 1-0. I thought that had to be. Toure pulled across to Toure, 8 yards out. He's fired an absolutely vicious shot, it looked like, and it's ricocheted either off a defender's foot last minute or off the keeper's knee or something. I'll have to see the replay for that, but I was absolutely convinced that was going to be 1-0. Let's have a look at the replay here. So that is brilliant play from Magoma in the box. Squares it to it's Brooks, actually, not Toure, who gets the shot. So Magoma plays it across to Brooks. The camera, with that fast, the camera's not kept up with the ball. So bollocks. But anyway, great opportunity. Yeah, West Brom happy to park the bus, Spidey. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening here. Which is, first game of the season, okay, they're playing away from home. They're playing a decent side, but they're not playing, a Middlesbrough or a West Ham or a Burnley. If West Brom have got aspirations, they want to be, trying to do more against a team like Norwich. They should see themselves as Norwich's equal. Yeah, not a single shot on target. I've absolutely no idea, especially after last week. But yeah, we've got a very established pattern of play here. West Brom have set the low block. They are parking the bus. And they're inviting Norwich to break them down. Anyway, Norwich have won a corner over on the Norwich right-hand side. Well, having the best team in the world. Well, I'm sure you are. I would not. I would not want to say otherwise. Absolutely. And like I said, I'd like to see Norwich do well. Nothing against West Brom, but it'd be nice to see him do well. Anyway, they've got a corner out on the right-hand side. Still waiting for it to be taken. Still waiting. It's whipped in, left foot, in swinger. And that is gone out. Has that gone out for another corner? It's hit somebody's head, and I don't know if that's another corner or a goal kick. No, it's gone for a goal kick. I don't know whose head that came off.
I'm getting a goal at Middlesbrough, an equaliser. I'm not seeing a scorer yet, and I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I'll let you know as soon as I find out.
Equaliser.
Yeah, Lancashire. Will Lancashire.
Right, so that's 1-1, Middlesbrough. Let's have a look at the stats in that game, because I think before the stats were showing Middlesbrough were giving them a real spanking. So, yeah, 1 apiece. Yeah, 76% possession for Middlesbrough, 13 shots, 4 on target. But actually, when you look at expected goals, 0.61 for Middlesbrough and 0.62 for Lincoln. Lincoln themselves have actually had 10 shots, 2 on target. So they've been creating chances.
We've also got an equaliser for Charlton at home to Derby, scored by Lloyd Jones from a header in close range.
Speaking of close range, while I was just looking at those stats there, Toure for Norwich has created himself a beautiful little chance in the box. It's strange. He's took a shot trying to beat the keeper at the near post. It's bounced off the post onto the back of the keeper's leg. How it hasn't rolled over the line, I don't know. But it just kind of stopped dead. Very close. And the app has decided to take a fart. So I'll be back in a second. Norwich versus West Brom. Right. Doom, you'll have to go over some of the results just while I get this working again.
Well, I can give you some basic commentary on it. We've just had in that game an attempt saved from Mohamed Toure, right-footed shot from the left side of the box. But we've got a slight change in the passage of play. Corner to West Brom now, conceded by Harry Darling. Another guy's name who you absolutely admire. So just waiting for that to come through.
What's happened is I watch on Virgin Media and it's just logged me out for some reason in the middle of a game. And it's I will be not long.
Okay, so it's a goal kick to Norwich. It was a miss by Phillips from that corner. So it was a bit of a near miss, that one. So Norwich actually being threatened for once in the game.
Okay, we're almost there.
So West Brom are making a substitution, and it's Myrie that's coming off. Let's see who's coming on. While we do that, Marek passed 6902 says, come on, City. So we've got another City fan in chat. And Foot Edits has put his team of the year up. And I wholeheartedly agree with a few of them on there.
Yeah, a couple of Norwich fans in the chat today. I'm back. I've got the game up again. So what we're waiting for here. Is that Zingula come back on? Have I even pronounced that right? Is that what I've missed?
There's been a couple of subs, I think. Let me just check again. We had Jason Malumbi comes on to replace Harry Whitwell.
Okay. Right. And here come, as soon as I open my mouth, here come Norwich. They lose the ball, and West Brom. West Brom have a bit of possession for once in the Norwich half. They just, I don't know what it is. They look unsure to me. And Diakite, I'm gonna call him out personally for this. There's been a couple of times where the ball's broke for West Brom, and he's had a chance to run forward, play a forward pass, and he seems to turn around to face his own goal to look for somebody to pass to behind him or to the side of him. You think, well, we've got a chance here for West Brom to get forward, and he just stuffs all the momentum out of it. I don't know what he's thinking of doing.
Do you think it's a confidence thing?
I think it very well could be, yeah. It very well could be. That's a lovely little ball over and a header. What a good save from the keeper. That was absolutely fantastic. That was Fisher got himself into the box. Lovely little dink over the defender. Good header by Fisher, to be fair. Low to the keeper's right. And he was onside. Just kept out by the keeper's right foot. That's good goalkeeping from O'Leary.
I can now cross out the word dink from my bingo card.
He dunked it over. Dinky donkey. That was a lovely, it's kind of like scooped it, like when you just scooped it over it with the foot. I
think they call it a lob or a chip, don't they? Usually in football terms. I think dink is referred to clowns.
Yeah, not a lob, but a lot. This was almost scooping his foot under the, but it was a very delicate dinky winky.
You're just finding new words, so you won't have to say lob or chip.
I'm trying to sound smart. Free kick into the box from Norwich, which doesn't go very far. And West Brom have got a chance to break. Do not give it Diakite. But no, they're all at it. It's like we've got a chance to break. Well, I'll tell you what, let's turn around, play it backwards. And they've now got their ball in their own area instead of having that chance to run forward. It's out to Galvez on the right-hand side. Up to, is that Diakite who's dispossessed? And the ball's going to, I don't know what that was. It's going to go out for a goal kick to West Brom.
Marek is posting in chat. Thank you, guys. I think I can say on behalf of both of us, no, thank you for coming and watching us. We are, as you're probably aware, we are a relatively new channel to this. So we are still going to make so many feck ups. It's unbelievable. But it's all part of the human condition, and I'm sure you love us doing it.
A foot edit says it's a chip brotato. I'm going to call it that. That's going to be used now. You just coined that. There's a chip brotato for that kind of scoopy whoopy dinky balling. I'm going to call that chip brotato. That's it now. It's fixed. It's got its name. So we all know what I mean when I say that. Right, pausing plays. We have a substitution for Norwich. It looks like. Who's coming on? Schwartau. Oh, bloody hell, it's gone off screen before I could read it.
Did I just call the first substitution correctly? Schwartau. Yeah.
I don't know much about him, so if anyone's in chat, what are his attributes? What can we expect from him?
Well, we've got 2 Norwich fans, I believe, in chat, and so I'm sure they can enlighten the rest of chat and you.
Yeah. Right, West Brom have the ball deep in their own half, and they don't look like they want to move anywhere with it. Over on the right-hand side, trying to work something. And here's Diakite, I think. No, dispossessed. And so scrappy. So scrappy. I don't know what I'm watching here. But it's with West Brom in midfield. We have got a little bit of a forward run. We've got a bit of a forward pass. How was about that? It's Meyer on the left-hand side. Plays it off of Norwich. Schwartau, actually. He plays it off Schwartau. It's gone out for a throw-in to West Brom.
We have a goal at Stoke City now. Swansea are 2-1 up. A goal in the 66th minute by either.
Okay. Is that a shock, do you think, or is that expected?
What, Swansea City Stoke?
Yeah, I mean, will that go down if it stays like that as one of the upsets of the century? Or
No. So, I mean, Swansea, one of these teams. I mean, I'm not sure whether it was Swansea or Cardiff. It was one of the Welsh teams that were up in the high flights. I mean, Swansea, wasn't it? They were a Premier League team at one time.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so was Stoke.
So no, I mean, not really. I mean, I would say that before the end, I would imagine Stoke will try and it might end up being 2-2 probably at the end of that game.
Let's see what the people on Twitter are saying. West Brom. So Mighty Hog 51 seconds ago says West Brom have paid this referee so much just to ruin me bet. Okay. 3 minutes ago, Cal says the game's finished. Norwich 0, West Brom 0. Oh shit! I've just literally missed a goal. For God's sake! While I've been reading that, somebody scored and I've no idea what happened. West Brom have scored, and I don't know. I don't know who scored it or what happened or anything.
It was Hegeber.
It was Hegeber, was it? I'm looking at the replay now. Yeah, it's squared across, and he's tucked it away from inside the 6-yard box.
Oh,
Styles.
Very much against the runner player, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Styles on the just played it out to Morgan on the left-hand side, who's pulled it across, and Hegeber's finished from inside the 6-yard box. I missed that entire thing. Bloody Nora.
Honestly, the only bit of excitement in the game, and you weren't watching it. This is how professional we are, guys. We can only promise to improve.
God, that reminds me of that Chris Kamara moment. Remember when someone they went through? They always play it on like football's funniest moments on Soccer Saturday. It's like, let's go to Chris Kamara. It was actually Ewood Park. He goes, "There's been a red card, isn't there?"
That's it.
Like, that's the Jeff. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't see it yet. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look at that. There has.
Well, that has come firmly against the run of play. I'll be honest, but it has come. So let's see if I can get the chat back up. Yeah, I can't believe it. A few of you Norwich fans in the chat, I can't believe it. That's definitely come against the run of play. I don't think Norwich deserve to be 1-0 down. From a West Brom point of view, could you say that you've done enough with your low block to restrict Norwich to just half chances? You know, and that's often the plan, isn't it? You go away somewhere, you try and just restrict the team to half chances and hope you can nick one. And if they do that, they'll have completed the smash and grab, and you know they can say they were effective in what they tried, but I can't make a case for them deserving it at this point.
It's one of them things. They always say it's not what you do. It's what you do with the possession and not how much you have, isn't it? So
yeah, absolutely. And in this case, I think it's been what West Brom have prevented Norwich from being able to do with their possession. But they have made it a pretty soulless, boring, torturous game to watch.
Spidey's confused.
So whenever Norwich get inside West Brom's box, look away. I'll do that next time. That might be the thing. Just not watching the screen.
Well, yeah.
Oh dear.
We'd like to introduce you to Norwich's new mascot, Marcus Evans.
Oh dear me. Right. I don't know what's going on now.
I was going to say, can any of the Norwich fans tell me, is Delia still much acquainted with Norwich? Is she still there, or did she dwindle away?
I thought she left the club, Delia Smith.
Well, I thought she. I mean, she's always had this. How can I put it? Interesting relationship with Norwich, hasn't she?
Although that time she went on the pitch, where are you? But that's another one that's always played on these football funnies. You know, I'm beginning to think that there's only one Football's Funniest Moments program, and I've just seen the same one over and over.
You just realised that?
It might actually be the case. Anyway, Wright comes on for Norwich. Any Norwich fan, if you can let us know. Brooks has gone off. Brooks has looked pretty lively, I think, but Wright has come on. What type of player is Wright? What are we going to expect from him? Is he a finisher? Is he a flair player? Is his strength his pace? What we're going to expect?
I would certainly hope the Norwich fans will be thinking he's got to be a super sub, primarily.
Well, West Brom are coming away. It's Diakite again. Played it. Well, he's looking to play Styles in on the left. Oh, and actually, Styles has done really, really well there. It's not Styles at all, it's Price, but he's done really, really well there to win a throw-in. But he's not won a throw-in, it's actually Norwich's throw-in. So I got all of that correct. But the main point is the ball is still well down in Norwich's half. West Brom have now put it out for a Norwich throw halfway inside their own half.
Just to answer the question I've just seen, is the background AI generated? No, it's not AI generated. That's actually everything you can see on the screen here is created with my very skillful but really chunky fingers.
Even the T-shirt, he knitted this himself.
Yeah, with my teeth.
I do know, right? Say played for City at one point. Okay. Now we've got 10 minutes normal time left. For Man City at one point. Okay. That's a nice little ball over top. That was a chipped Brotato. Chipped Brotato, yeah. But this time it was nothing come of it. West Brom aren't committed anything forward. They're happy, it seems, just to have the ball deep inside their own half just to knock it around the back. Norwich are pushing forward. That's going to be dangerous for West Brom, because when West Brom have got that ball at the back and they're knocking it around, they are being pressed by Norwich. It'll be dangerous for them to keep that up. Unless you're really cut out for it. I've seen far too many teams, I think the Barcelona, playing it around the back, trying to keep it, and they just get pressed out of existence in games, and they concede way too many chances that are just needless. And I can see Norwich finding a way back into this game if West Brom are thinking they're going to do that for the next 10 minutes. And here do come Norwich. It's with Darling over to the right side to Fisher. Back to Darling. What's happening here? Norwich.
So our West Brom now doing the Portuguese defence.
How would you define the Portuguese defence?
Pretty much parking the bus.
Yeah, they are parking the bus for sure.
Right, I'm going to look to see how Marcus pronounces this name. Fucking chat. Have a go. Go on.
An Anqua Forsen. An Anqua. There we go.
But you can't get a simple name like Slimani, right? I just can't weigh you up sometimes.
Well, what's happening here? It's a free kick to somebody. I missed that. Somebody's going to kick the sports ball, but who the hell is it?
Right, we've got a goal at Charlton. They've now taken the lead. I believe it's Tyrese Campbell with a left-footed shot.
And who are they playing?
Derby County.
You know what? That's going to be a good result for Charlton. Like I said, Derby will favour themselves for at least a playoff place. Oh, shine a light. Who was that? Is that Price? A shot from West Brom from must be all of 25 yards, if not more. A real nice place shot. It's just look for all the world like it was curling into that top far corner. It's off the woodwork. I don't know if the keeper got his hands to it or not. He must have. It's a corner. It was Price. That was a beautiful shot. Price looks a little bit like Todd Cantwell to me now, facially. If Todd Cantwell had a moustache, I'm not saying his hair looks like him, but
yeah. Okay. Can you pronounce this name then?
Norwich.
No.
I'll let you do that one.
Oh no! You're the presenter. Allegedly.
Kiwi Dumbo. Oh, hang on. Bit of pinball. How has that not crossed the line? How has that not crossed the line? That was some real. How are West Brom not 2-0 up? That was some real pinball. In fact, the ball seemed to stop dead for a fraction of a second on the line. That was as close as West Brom could get to scoring. Now, I was trying to read that name on my other monitor, so I don't know how it happened. So West Brom, the corner's coming from the left. And it's bounced off the knee of Phillips in the 6-yard box, who's then managed to drag it across the goal line without actually putting it in the net from about 3 yards out. Good defending from Norwich to good last gasp defending, but really, to be fair, that should have been 2-0. But it's not.
So I'd just like to say welcome to the stream to VIP 8080 and to Dean Blondie 1549, who is a Baggies fan. Boing, boing, he says.
If it says it's a completely made-up name, okay, let's give it a go then. Kivhaus Gardinho. Oh, shine the light. I nearly missed another one. Right, I'm going to have to stop pronouncing. Every time I look at that screen, something happens here. That is Fisher taking a shot from about 12 yards out. He's really wrapped his foot around that, and it's bounced off the back of a West Brom player's head, and it's caught. But now West Brom are in the box. This is going to be 2, and it is 2. Now that's I didn't see the build up to that, but that wasn't my fault. That's because Sky was showing the replay of that Fisher chance, and then it just cut to literally the goal. So I don't know how West Brom got in that position. That's editing from Sky. It's a long goal. Oh my God! It's just a long goal kick. It's a long goal kick, and who is that? Who the hell was that? Oh, it's Morgan. It's a long goal kick. Morgan picks it up. He's got 2 or 3 Norwich players to beat in the box, which he does. And then he's just slammed it low past the keeper's right-hand side with his right foot. Norwich will be gutted.
Well, Yash Singh must have seen it. He's probably shouting goal at the top of his voice still as we speak.
Wow. Well, you know what?
Another new guy coming to chat. Do I think West Brom has a chance? Is that a rhetorical question?
I think they do now. I mean, I'll be honest. It's been a smash and grab from West Brom, but it's worked. I was knocking them earlier on, saying that they weren't proactive enough. They were too many sideways passes and backward passes. They didn't know how to make a forward run. But the plan has obviously been to come and frustrate. And if you get a chance, if you happen to get one in the game, stick it away. They've done that twice. And, it's not been pretty to watch. You'd be gutted if you were a Norwich fan, though. Norwich fans in the chat must be disappointed. They've definitely been the better side. Story of my life as a Baggies fan. Well, at the end of the day, the happy set of fans are the fans that go on with 3 points. That's all that matters. And looks like West Brom have found a way to do that. 2 minutes left. I just can't see Norwich getting back. I mean, Norwich have played well. They've had the majority of the chances. They've looked good, but they've not made any clean-cut chances. I can't see you making 2 in 2 minutes. So,
I think if it stays this way, you might have to make a personal apology to Foot Edits FC for your indirect and small part in the goals against his team today.
Yeah. For look at I think I might have to. Here come Norwich. They're toiling, but there's nothing there for them. West Brom are going to clear again. I think this could go on for another week, and Norwich, they're huffing and puffing, but I think it's gone for them.
Yash Singh is asking, are you serious? Norwich the better side? They were despicable.
I think they've been the better side from what I've seen. I think they've been the side that have looked like they've been proactively trying to win the game more, as opposed to, but I'm not a Norwich fan or a West Brom fan. I've got no bias in that. I'm just saying it as I see it. But at the end of the day, West Brom are going to win, so that's all that matters, isn't it?
We've got quite a little bit of a rivalry forming in Chatham by those things.
Jesus, they'll pull one back. Norwich will pull one back.
They have?
They have pulled one back. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, but it was I think it was Schwartz. What was he called?
Schwartau.
I think he's picked up the ball and he's had his shot's been saved by the keeper, but only as far. Bloody hell. Yeah, it's been saved by the keeper. It's been palmed into the pathway of Kvistgarden, however you pronounce that, who's had an open net to head the ball into. So I don't know how many minutes.
Definitely not over, is it?
It's not over, I was just saying this could go on forever and Norwich won't get one, but they have.
Dean Blondie says fair play to Norwich. If he's a Baggies fan, that's quite an amicable statement. Well played.
Um, oh, Sean says, I don't watch soccer. I bet on West Brom to make $247. Well, good luck with that. I don't know anything about betting. I'll be honest, mate. It's not something I get into, but right, where the ball is with West Brom. I've lost that there a little. The swamp in the sorry, the ball's with Norwich. The swamp in the West Brom half, but West Brom are standing firm. In fact, they've got the ball now. Can't keep it though. Somebody's down. I don't know what happened there, but Norwich are playing on. Over on the right hand side now. Looks like, is that McLean? But they're still a good 40 yards from goal. And West Brom have the ball back, but what are they going to do with it? Not a great deal. They're just trying to hold on. And they've won a free kick. 2 minutes of the 4 have gone, and they've won a free kick around about the halfway line on the right-hand side. And they're going to milk the most of this. Somebody's down like they've been shot. Can't quite see who that is. Are you a Norwich fan? I don't know if you're talking to me. No, I'm a Blackburn fan. This is just the game we're covering today.
Just for the record, I'm not a Norwich fan either. Let's just say I'm a fan of football in general.
Well, I know the team you support, mate. I know that's not true. Can't call what your team do football. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. Right. Oh, right. So the ball is broken. Another long goal kick. Oh no, it's just showing a replay of the goal. Bloody hell.
You've got a business proposition from Seanster Monster.
It sounds good, mate, but I'm going to stay out of. I'm going to stay out of it. But good luck with what you do. Yeah, we're just wasting time here now. The 4 minutes of the 4 minutes are going to be up by the time the substitution takes place. I'm sure it's a genuine injury and not a time wasting ploy.
We have a goal at Middlesbrough, who are now 2-1 up, and it's that man Lancashire again.
You'd be gutted, wouldn't you, conceding this late if you were a Lincoln City fan? Sounds as if they've given Middlesbrough a real game there.
Yeah, it looked like there were an upset on the cards, but my prediction for Lincoln maybe to go down is still looking good, albeit after the first game.
Now we are past the 4 minutes, but 4 minutes of injury time. The ball is deep in the Norwich half. It is a throw into Norwich. I don't know when the referee's going to blow, how much time he's going to add on here. It could come at any second. Norwich desperately trying to get the ball out their own half, but unsuccessfully. Until now, it's a long hoof forward, and it's going to be picked up by O'Leary in the West Brom goal, or the West Brom area. He's not rushing. Finally takes the goal kick. Norwich, is this the... Oh, no, it's gone. Back to O'Leary, sorry. Hoofs it deep into the Norwich half again. Back to the Norwich goalkeeper. It's just one long hoof in either direction now at the minute. Yeah. West Brom content just to boot it downfield as far as they can. And when the Norwich get the ball, they're doing the same, trying to get it into the... It's a bit of an absurd situation. Norwich do pick the ball up now in midfield, though. But it's gone out for a throw-in. Do you think the referee's going to blow any second now?
So do you think that, or this could be an opportunist win for West Brom?
I think it's a smash and grab. I think they've obviously come with a game plan. And what the hell? All right, something's happened here. The West Brom goalkeeper's taken a goal kick. Norwich player was stood right in front of him. He's kicked it off the back of the Norwich player. But now he's got the goal kick. I don't know what was going on then. But now he's going to take, looks like a free kick. He's launched it deep into the Norwich half. It's gone out for, oh, there's a final whistle. Doesn't matter what it's gone out for. West Brom 2. And yeah, a bit of a smash and grab job, I think, from West Brom. But at the end of the day, if you get a game plan and you stick to it and it pays off, then you've picked the right game plan, haven't you? For me, football, it's not just about attacking, it's about defending as well. And West Brom have done that really well today, and they've taken the chances. So, although I think Norwich were the better side, you can't really argue with that, can you?
You can't. It can be, it's a very passionate game of football, and I'm sure in the run of play, Norwich will feel extremely disappointed with that result.
So, with the games that are left, Charlton versus Derby are into the 5th minute of injury time. That'll be, I think, a bit of a shock for Charlton picking a win up there if they can hold on. We've got Stoke and Swansea and Portsmouth and QPR still to go. Oh, I need to get a more comfy chair. Well, there we go. Ledge, what do you think of that? Have you been watching it? Do you think, is my take right? Do you think Norwich looked the slightly better side?
Yeah, there were a lot of promise in the first half. Didn't bear any fruit, and again, just disappointing from Norwich's perspective. West Brom were always in this game looked likely to be the ones to try and sneak one in based on possession. Which, like I said, it's not how much you get; it's what you do with it when you get it. And unfortunately for Norwich in this game, West Brom have utilised what they've had a little bit better than Norwich did. But commiserations to Norwich, and well done, West Brom.
And it's all over at Stoke as well, who've lost at home to Swansea 2-1. Charlton and Derby now in the 7th minute of injury time. And Portsmouth 1, QPR 3. Let's have a look at the table. See where this puts everybody while we're waiting for those final results. So QPR are top of the table on goal difference, along with Millwall. And then below them, sharing second place, I suppose. Swansea, West Brom, Bolton, Charlton, and Middlesbrough. And then below that, in the playoff place, we have Blackburn Rovers and Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Southampton are propping the table up with -4 points. Everyone else is on nothing so far. Excuse me.
Just to mention, in a couple of weeks' time, we will be going live from 7 a.m. in the morning till whenever the transfer window shuts. We'll be covering, or we'll be at least notifying you of all the action there.
Well, I've just seen here, Spence gone to Inter Milan. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I do apologise if the stream's been interrupted. As I mentioned last week, I have a lot of people working on things in my area, and they can't seem to use a spanner correctly.
Yeah. So Spence to Inter Milan. I wonder how we'll get on over there.
So again, I don't know if I finished before the stream sort of cut out for a bit. So yeah, on deadline day we'll be here. Either myself or Marcus will be popping in and let you know about the breaking deals of the day. And as always, we'll be back next Saturday and every Saturday with more of the same. But next week, it'll be Premier League as well.
It's going to be a busy one next week for sure. Charlton 2, Derby 1 is a final result, and we are therefore only waiting upon which result? Portsmouth QPR. Now, that's an interesting one. QPR 3-1 up, but Portsmouth have had the lion's share of possession, the lion's share of shots as well. They've had 54% possession, 16 shots compared to QPR's 13. But they're losing 3-1. They've had an expected goals of 1.9 compared to 2.04 for QPR. And 6 shots on target each. So you can never tell with the stats, but Portsmouth look as if they've definitely been competitive in that game.
What I'm interested in is you get a lot of football rivalries, and every team usually has its direct rival. I'd be interested to know who West Brom feel are their closest rivals, and also Norwich. I mean, see, the only team I can think of that's in that neck of the woods would be Ipswich, but
Norwich and Ipswich, definitely. That's the big one. Yeah, Norwich and Ipswich really do not like each other at all. That's for sure. Outside of that, West Brom, what you'd be thinking? Birmingham Wolves.
Yeah. Well, Foot is leaving us today. Thanks for watching, Foot. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Same to everybody who's watched us today. We do appreciate if you can drop us a like, maybe subscribe. We've got the QR codes up there. We've got our Discord, and when my face disappears from the bottom left, you'll see the QR code for our Twitter page as well.
Right, and he's off to watch Bayern Munich versus Leipzig. Enjoy that one. And
he'll be back for the next stream. Awesome.
Right. Catch you next week.